Going out to the Prius. Going out to the Prius. That's where the magic happens. Right in the Prius. See if I got my keys. Nope. So get my keys. Oop, bada boop. We don't get started for another 7 minutes. That's fine. Keep going. We're letting people know. All right. Let's get that on. I'm excited about tonight, actually. Oh, brush my hair a little bit. I'll be at the haircut tomorrow. Getting a haircut mañana. What's up, Kilroy? Getting a haircut tomorrow, so I look different mañana. What's up, Libby? What's up, Tina? Come on in. We're getting started at the top of the hour. Come on in, Courtney. Thomas. Come on in. We're getting started at the top of the hour. So this is time just to shoot the breeze. Shoot the breeze. We're going to be talking about community is law tonight. I'm really excited about this concept of community is law. This is going to be a fun one tonight. Look, I've even wrote down notes. So if you guys take notes tonight, I think you'll get a lot out of it. But we're going to stop at the top of the hour. Top of the hour, we're going to get started. Come on in. Say hi. Say hi. Let me know you're here so I'm not just talking to myself. I mean, that's what I do. That's how you guys found me, by talking to myself in a Prius, right? But we're going to get started at the top of the hour. Top of the hour. I don't think I'll need this tonight. I got my girls, my two oldest with me, so we're excited. Hello. Welcome. We're going to start at the top of the hour. Thank you for stopping by, even if it's for a couple minutes. It means a lot. This is our National Unity Conference. Everyone keeps saying, we need to unify, but nobody wants to unify. So here we are on TikTok unifying, right? We're unifying behind principles. We're not unifying behind ideologies. We're not unifying behind systems. That's too far advanced for the United States right now. United States is in collapse. We talking about systems. No, we gotta stop the free fall. So National Unity Conference, we come here, we talk about principles. Eventually, we're going to write a new constitution. Right now, we're talking about the values and rights that we want. But I'm going to get into all that at the top of the hour. Come on in. So many of you guys. Welcome. Say hi. Say hello. Wave. Send an emoji. Send a heart. Let me know you're here. So I'm not talking to myself. The number keeps going up, but I'm still talking to myself. What's up? I believe there's also live subscriptions. I don't know how to do these live subscriptions, to be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'll figure it out, and then maybe this thing will be profitable or some way. But top of the hour, we're gonna get into community is law. Community is law. Welcome to the National Unity Conference for the United States of America. We do this every night. Right now, we do this every night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here on the I'm on the West Coast, so we're gonna get into all that in a second. We're gonna get started about 2 minutes, about 2-3 minutes here. We're gonna get started. Say hello when you come in. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the roses. Thank you guys. We're gonna get started at the top of the hour. Thank you. I appreciate that. Top of the hour, we're gonna talk about community is law. We're gonna talk about how we got here. If you don't know what this is, there are recaps of, this is our fourth one. We did one the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. No, this is our fifth one, because we took the weekend off. Or Friday No, Saturday I was on Facebook. Saturday I did a Facebook live, and then yesterday was Father's Day, so I spent time with my kids. So 2 minutes we'll get a happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there, man. Happy belated Father's Day to y'all. It is like difficult to be a good father these days, man. It is very hard to be a good father. If you got a good father, you are fortunate, because you are growing up in a time period where there's not a lot. So hopefully if you got a good father, you appreciate him, and he had a great day. So couple more minutes, we're going to get started. Top of the hour, we're going to talk about community is law. Community is law. I'm going to turn this back on because I'm getting hot. Well, welcome. Say hello. Thank you guys for showing up early too, man. I did a little live event. I never did that before, but I did it today. Let me know if I get too dark. I got the little light here. I don't think I need that yet. Nah, now I just look creepy, huh? We don't need that yet. When we do need it, we'll use it. Come on in. Thank you guys for showing up early. Thank you for showing up early. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the roses. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You guys do anything fun over the weekend? You guys do anything cool for Father's Day? Any fathers get anything cool for Father's Day? My kids got me, I got 2 beer mugs. I got a bottle opener. It was really cool. It had like a little dad thing on it. They give me these little basketballs. So my thing is like they love giving me these little basketballs where they got the little NBA figurines in them. So I've almost completed a full court. So I got a few of those. I love Mike and Ike's. They gave me a bunch of Mike and Ike's and a bunch of honey buns. And honestly, that was like one of the greatest Father's Days ever. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. Welcome to the Nuke. This is the Nuke, the National Unity Conference. We are here to get unified because there is no greater weapon against what we're going through right now than unification. Unifying is the nuclear weapon. We are World War III. When we come together, beyond, differences, beyond all that, and we can figure out something to come together behind, we become very, very powerful. So welcome to the Nuke, the National Unity Conference. We are here to get unified. That is the goal, even if we're not unified. Eventually, what I want to do with this night is I want to bring people up of different ideologies. So I want to bring someone who voted for Trump and someone who hates Trump. I want to bring both y'all up and see, okay, both y'all are human. What can we agree on? Right? I want to bring a conservative and a liberal. I want to bring y'all up, and I want us to unify here. This is the Nuke. This is the Nuke. Now, if you guys, this is like our 5th one. So you're coming in the middle of a moving train, and we're moving fast. Okay. So a couple things that we've already talked about with these National Unity Conferences. Number one, what we've decided is we are going to build a generation or build build an America for the greatest number of children. That's what we're unifying behind. We are unifying behind our children. If you don't know me, my name is Gabe the Great. I got started because my nonverbal autistic daughter, who's in the house right now, I found out that she got abused by her special education teacher. That was back in 2023. And since then, I've been trying to radically change this country because I think you're a pathetic adult if you have to take advantage of special needs children. I genuinely think that's where my conviction is, right? That's where my belief is. I think if you are an adult who takes advantage of children, you're a despicable human being. And I think that is something we all can unify behind. Like, let's protect the children, right? Maybe I don't agree with everything that conservatives say. Your children shouldn't be messed with, right? Maybe I don't agree everything what the left says. Leave the children out of it, right? The only time I'm like, yo, it's children is when you mess with my children. Then it's like, hey man, you called us here, right? So one of the things we talked about is that we are unifying behind our children. We're putting differences aside and going, we cannot raise functional children underneath these circumstances. These circumstances do not allow us to raise healthy adults. So we're not going to do it. So we are coming together and saying, okay, we're going to build an America for our children. Okay, that's number one. That's the thing that we decided we're going to unify around. The second thing we talked about is we're going to write a new constitution. And you may say, how can you just write a new constitution? Who's going to stop us? Who's going to stop the people if they decide, listen, y'all not obeying that thing anyway. Y'all not obeying it anyway. So listen, we're going to come together as a people, and we're not going to let the ruling class write the Constitution for us. We're going to come together. We're going to have a say. If nothing else, guys, I need you guys to understand, if nothing else, this will be etched in history. Even if we don't win, they will remember the group of people in the United States of America that came together and put their ideals, put their values down on paper. So they won't be able to ignore us. Once we put it on paper, they won't be able to ignore us, okay? So we're unifying behind the kids. Nobody's obeying the Constitution anyway. Forget it. It was birthed in white supremacy. It was birthed in slavery. Society has moved beyond that. We've talked about covenantal government. I'm going to get more into that later, but we talked a little bit about how we want to reimagine government as just a small subsection of the people that protect the community's values and rights. Right? That's what the government is supposed to do. We're not supposed to be afraid of the government. The government is supposed to lead us with fear. Not fear in the sense they're afraid of my rule, but fear in the sense of I want to do right by my people. It is important to me to do right by my people. And we're going to start that culture right now. We're going to start a culture of we're going to expect leaders to treat us, to do right by us, and we're going to make sure to have a reciprocal relationship with our leaders, okay? Tonight, we are going to get into, we've talked about this a little bit, but we are going to get into community is law. One of the things that we talked about with our new constitution is we don't need to just say what rights we want. We also need to say what are the principles we want to live by. We're now understanding that, okay, what does it mean to be an American? What is an American? What does that mean, right? If you can't define American by religion, right? You can't define American by race. You can't define American by ethnicity. At some point, what it means to be an American is a certain set of values. And we can't just say American values and nobody live it. And we don't hold people accountable to those values. We need to write these values down and go, these are the values you need to have to live in this country. I think that's very fair. And we've talked about a pro-human society. We want a pro-human America. Okay, so yes, that means that we got to get rid of all these oppressive systems. We don't need to do it overnight, but we'll figure it out as we go. We don't have to have all the answers right now, right? Big portion of my manifesto, the unknown. We don't need to have all the answers, but we do need to have the faith to take the next step. And we talked about one of the things that we can do, right? Detach from it. One of the best forms of resistance is just to stop consuming the media. Any media about Donald Trump. You know what he did. He broke the law and he lied about it. That's what he did today. Getting away from that gets you your nervous system back. A lot of people don't realize it. Again, I talk about it in my manifesto. A lot of people don't realize it. You're not thinking. You are reacting. You think you're smart. You think you're like on the right side of this. You are reacting. You're reacting to a narcissist in power. Take a step back. Gain control of your nervous system. Go get a hobby. These are other things. I'm trying to give us a little recap of what we talked about for people who are new. We've talked about going and get a hobby, particularly a slow hobby, something that is not, instant gratification. Go do something that takes time. Remind your brain that the chaos that you see on this phone, the chaos that you see on the news, that a lot of that is fabricated. And at the end of the day, there's not much you can do about it from your position. Okay, this is going to allow you to start to think clearly and start to go, okay, now I can really analyze things. Okay. One of the principles, one of the values that we've talked about is community is law. I want to talk about that tonight. Community is law. When I say community is law, what do you guys think I mean by that? What do you guys think I mean by community is law? I really didn't bring water in here. I should have brought water. All right, what do you guys think I mean by community is law? When I say community is law, what do you guys think that means? Oh, I got a flash goal? What does that mean, TikTok? TikTok is sending me all this stuff. What does that even mean? 3 gifts sent in heart. What do I get? Something. Okay. Whatever. I don't know what this is, dude. It pinned something. All right, when I say community is law, what does that mean to you guys? Community is law. Just give me one answer, one person. Give me one person and we'll keep going. Community is law. What do you guys think that means? What do you think that is? Community is law. Because this is something foundational that we've discussed and we've talked about it briefly. But community is law. What do you guys think that means? I agree. What's up, Melissa? Let's say hey to a few people. What's up, Melissa? What's up, Zay? Good to see you, Zay. All right, so when we talk about community is law, it is this idea that the law is not the paper. The law is the people. The people. One of the things that we figured out... Oh, going through trash. One of the things that we figured out and one of the issues that we have with our Constitution is that it's over obsessed with law. Like everything is about law. It's law, 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 law. I don't like how... Can you guys see me? I feel like... I don't like how dark I look. Let me see this. I feel like I could look better. Okay, yeah, I like that better. Okay, one of the things we talked about is one of the problems with our Constitution is that it's too overly focused on law, right? So the judicial branch enforces the law, the legislative branch writes the law, and the judicial branch interprets the law. Everything's about law. Everything's about the paper. Everything's about what's written on the words or what the words say. And what we have realized is that the law comes from the people, right? Community is law. How do you learn how to be a good person? How do you learn how to be a good person? You don't learn how to be a good person by reading the law. If that was the case, everybody would be a lawyer. You don't need the law to be a good person, right? You learn law from community. You learn law from your mom, dad, brothers and sisters, going to preschool, learning about sharing, learning about your kindergarten teacher. Like my oldest just graduated 5th grade. And I love elementary schools because, well, both, a lot of them, some of them. But what I love what the teachers in the elementary schools, a lot of them, they do really want to teach children like traits like courage, like respect, like these things. These things are important. So you learn how to be a good person. You learn how to be a moral person from your community. You don't learn it by studying the law. You don't learn it by studying the Constitution. You don't learn it by going to law school, right? So one of the problems that we have is we don't recognize that in society. That is not seen in society. That is not manifested. That truth, right? Because this is just true, right? Nobody here, I'm willing to go out on a limb. None of the 20 people here learned how to be a good person by studying law, by studying the Constitution, right? We learned it through our community. And so, everything starts with that, right? Everything starts with that. When we get our laws from people who are, they are over concerned with, that's true, feeling does nothing but cause chaos. When we get our laws from people who write the laws in fear, right? When you look at our Constitution, you see that our founding fathers feared losing power. They feared women having the right to vote. They feared the poor revolting against them. They feared the blacks revolting against them. And these are all these laws, right? Even these ICE raids today. It's all steeped in the fear of the illegal, the fear of, right? It's like, it's all fear-based. And so when you have the people at the top are afraid, the people who are at the top are in fear, it don't matter if they have power. They're going to do everything based upon fear, right? Using AI to surveillance us. Why? Fear. I don't care what y'all doing when I'm not with you guys. And I'm sure most of y'all don't care what I'm doing when I'm not with you guys, right? When we're not on the live. But when people in power are fearful, they're like, we got to get a surveillance state because they're paranoid. They're paranoid, right? And so what we start to understand is that the law should reflect how the culture already exists, right? So take, for instance, the changes that have happened. These amendments that have happened to our Constitution, the amendments came after the cultural shift. One of the issues that we have right now in the United States of America, everybody's like, why is America free falling? Why is it like this? Why is nothing coming from the right or left? Why is it like this? There hasn't been a cultural shift yet. We haven't shifted the culture. We're still perfectly fine with this idea that as long as the law says it, then it's okay, right? We haven't figured out as Americans that, and this is the second point I want to talk about, conscious community is the only source of law. One of the issues that we have right now in America is that our words don't mean anything. Nobody's words mean anything, right? What does democracy mean in America with how we're all living? What does freedom mean in America with how we're all living? This is why Americans always got to compare themselves to somebody else to talk about things. Well, at least we're not these guys. At least we're not this. No. We should be able to talk about freedom. We should be able to talk about liberty, justice, all these things. As Americans, we should be able to stand on our own. But a lot of our meaning has been distorted because a lot of the power has just been held by people who fear us. They fear us. They don't want us to have control. They don't want us to self-actualize because they're fear what we'll do with that. And so it's one of the things that I rail against and I talk about a lot. I don't even think about Trump's policies. I reject the premise. I reject the premise that someone that you know has been a con man or even accused as many times of committing crimes as him. I reject the idea that any person, Trump, Hillary, Obama, my baby mama, anybody who has committed a crime, anybody who is constantly on trial for committing crimes, that person is not going to enforce the law. I don't care how you feel about the other side. I don't care how much you hate the other side. And I reject that premise. And the reason being is because criminals, by definition, break the law. If you put the criminal in charge of enforcing the law, then if he enforces the law, he's no longer going to be in charge of enforcing the law. That right there is the existential crisis that the United States is going through right now. It's not about right or left. It's about the fact that our law does not come from a conscious community. So Americans will go back and forth about what should have been Trump, should have been Kamala. And the whole time, everybody should have been like, wait a second. You can't have an immoral person. But I talk about this in my manifesto. What is the biggest problem with the legislative branch? We know they're all corrupt. That's the issue in America. We know they're corrupt. Dirty politician is not an insult. It's a redundant phrase. Again, Donald Trump gained moral credibility by promising to what? Drain the swamp. You have a career con man going, hey, I would make a great president because I will get rid of the corrupt politicians. So it's like America, we don't even get, like, it's not even about Trump. Like everybody really kind of got Trump derangement syndrome a little bit because that's why he's in office. The issue is substitute Trump's name for anybody else or anything else. Put bunny rabbit there. It is about the character of the person in the office. If the character of the person is dishonorable, they're going to bring dishonor to the office. The United States presidency means nothing right now. The judicial branch, when they gave the president, presidential immunity, they took the teeth out of the judicial branch. Like the United States is eating itself. It's eating itself right now. And all the citizens are like, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's MAGA. It's left. It's guys. Our words don't mean anything because our laws aren't coming from consciousness. Our laws aren't coming from conscience. So the words don't mean anything. Democracy doesn't mean anything in the United States of America because our government doesn't reflect democracy. Our government reflects disrupting democracy in other places. It meant more under Biden? No, I don't think it's meant anything for a long time. This is what I'm saying. I don't think this is not a left or right thing for me. I think internally, we all know our politicians are corrupt. I think we have known that for a very, very, very long time. I don't think this is, oh, Trump is the issue. I say this all the time. Trump is the manifestation of the American dream. Trump is, I don't care. Like, I genuinely think a little of him. Like, I don't think much of him as a person, as a human. So when people get caught up on Trump versus Biden, for me, you're in the trap. It's not that. I think we've been bad for a very, very, very long time. This is just a bowling point. I think we have not, as a nation, trusted our leaders in a very, very long time. I told AI to rank a list of the dumbest people on earth, and GOP and MTG ranked one. That's funny. I think we have distrusted our government for a very, very long time. And I think with the combination of social media and technology, I think that the lie just can't hold up. Right? I just think we are in 1776 with cameras. I genuinely believe that scripture in Ecclesiastes. Like, I'm not a Christian, but Ecclesiastes is my favorite book of the Bible. And because it talks about there's nothing new under the sun. I don't think we're going through anything new. I think we're doing it with better toys. And I think history is 3D now. I think these cameras make it very hard for lies. Like, you know how they say a lie makes it halfway around the world before the truth puts on its shoes? Not with cameras. I'm watching people dismantle lies in real time. I'm watching people dismantle lies. I'm watching people make videos the same day that the lies are coming out. It's the issue is not that the person is lying. The issue is that our government don't mean anything. The words on the paper don't mean anything. The child will always watch where the sins of the father, sadly. Yeah. They put a leader in office to make us think our vote counts and do exactly. And for me, that's how it's always been. It's why most of the people who follow me, they follow me from my white supremacy video where I talk about how, listen, white supremacy ain't about me. I'm a tool of white supremacy. White supremacy is about getting the average white person to believe that they have something that they don't, to believe that they have rights when they don't, to believe that they have votes when they don't. And so this is why Americans are constantly comparing themselves to other people. The white people used to be able to compare themselves to the black to justify their rights, to say that they have rights because they didn't really have them, right? In America, we have to compare ourselves to something lower than us to make ourselves feel better, right? Because the goal of white supremacy is to distort meaning. It is to manipulate language. And so it doesn't matter what side you're on. It doesn't matter if you're white. It doesn't matter if you're black. It doesn't matter. The whole purpose is to distort meaning. And I talk about this in that video. White supremacy is an artificial system. It's not inherently justified. It's not inherently justified, right? It's not. This is why the men who are spiraling out are white, or a lot of young white men, and even older white men in there. Like, I think the population that is at risk most for like unaliving themselves is like older middle-aged white men, and it's because whiteness is hollow. You're not supposed to get. You're not supposed to get meaning from your skin color. The only reason why black people have meaning from their skin color is because the system has required us to be great. The system has required us to overcome. So now blackness is synonymous with perseverance. Yes, it's synonymous. It has a little bit of oppression, but it's also synonymous with overcoming. But that's just because of the artificial white supremacist system that is supposed to make everybody else weaker to prop white people up. Because at the end of the day, it's not about white. It's about power. Powerful people just use the disguise of whiteness so that the average white conservative, the average white liberal never really challenges the issue. And the issue is the people who are in power, they're anti-human. These are anti-human people with anti-human ideology. They do not care about humanity. And the United States of America is too big. We're too diverse. There's no way around it. The landmass is too big. If you are an American in Tennessee, you have a vastly different American experience than an American in Oregon, than an American child in Florida, than an American gay woman in New York, than an American Hispanic person from LA. All these people have a vastly different American experience, right? So there's no way you can have this leader that just funnels everything just perfectly and we're going to find one guy to figure it out. This is why I talk about how in the new America, we have to elevate the role of state governor. Our state governors need more power because we need to be focused on them. We need to be focused on local stuff. Community is law, right? Community is law. And the United States of America suffers from a lack of community. So our laws are hollow, right? I was looking at, I made a comment on YouTube. They were talking about these ICE raids and everything and how like, a judge just said that it's illegal for Trump to deploy the military. And I commented like, okay, like, does that stop Trump? Like, has the law ever stopped this man? Ever? Like, why do you want me to get excited about a judge saying what we already know? Right? But when you go back to when our Constitution was, that's the idea. The idea is that these people, these judges interpret the law. They tell us what these words means. We're in 2025. I don't need a judge to tell me what the words mean. I don't even need a judge to tell me what the evidence means. I can look at the evidence and go, oh yeah, that person's guilty. Right? Now, I'm not a judge. I don't do anything. And yes, maybe there's other things. This is why I think everything needs to go through a legal process. But we're at a place in society where, like, we know that there are bad guys doing bad things. And we just feel powerless because we know that the system, right? That the laws don't mean anything. And so we're suffering from community because our Constitution was ratified in such a way that obviously caused separation. And we want to pretend that we can just put amendments on immorality. You can't put amendments on white supremacy or patriarchy or any of that stuff. We got to get back to community. We got to get back to local, right? This is why I'm not a leader that goes, we all need to do this. We all need to do this. I want to give you guys principles. Community is law is a principle. I want you to go back and actualize that in your community. I don't know how you're going to do that where you're at in America. That may look different. That may look like organizing. That may just mean having a more game nights with your friends. That may mean volunteering locally. That may mean going on your social media and not following anything that's not local if it doesn't help you. That may mean, I don't know what that's going to mean for you, but community is law. This idea of we learn what it means to be a good person from our community. That may mean, okay, if community is law, that means that I got to hold my brothers and sisters accountable. I got to start doing a better job of holding my friends accountable. And if I go to hold my friend accountable and they don't want to be held accountable, I might need to examine, is this a person I can build the America that I want with? The deepest act of resistance, we're all looking for the major. We're all looking for the big, shiny star in the sky. Where's our Martin Luther King? Where's our da-da-da? And that's what a lot of these protests are. We're going for big da-da-da-da. Like, there was way more people at the No Kings protest than there was a parade. Okay, but what happened? What do we do with that? We got to do something with that now. We got to go get change. We got to capitalize off this. But it's a myth that it doesn't matter how many different protests we do around the country. Your problem is local. My problem is local. The federal government, in a very real way, this again, you can't get too trapped in your ideologies because even though your op is your op, a lot of times your op isn't crazy. See, I don't think MAGA is crazy for being like, we need less government. Yes, bro, we've talked about this. We believe that in the perfect pro-human society, there is no need for laws because laws are for control. Laws are so for that most people outside of probably speeding, littering, something like that. Maybe not even littering these days. I don't even litter like that. I used to litter when I was a kid, but not no more. But maybe instead of something like speeding, most of us don't break laws. We don't, it doesn't cross my mind to harm somebody today. It doesn't cross my mind to oppress somebody today. There's a very small group of us that think like that. And the issue is they have the power. They make the laws. They make the meaning. Okay. That kind of goes to my final point here. Leadership is to translate, not dictate the law. So again, the law is supposed to rise from the people, right? So one of the things I want us to start doing is start putting our foot down with things, right? My foot down is, guys, I'm not talking politics when we have a criminal in office. I'm not doing it. That's my foot. That's my foot. And I think more people need to get there genuinely, because what do the words of our law mean? What does criminal mean? What does conviction mean? If you can just still go get the highest office in the land, what does conviction mean? This is why I told people, like, when we were going through the Trump trial and people were like, oh, the Democrats are coming after him. And I said, bro, this is a lose-lose situation. Because if what you're saying is right, if the Dems are just, railroading the guy, well, we have a huge problem in our judicial branch that needs a lot of attention. But if the opposite is true, and this is a free and fair, this is a fair trial and the guy's guilty, well, that's bad too, right? I like that. One currency, no borders, no tariffs, one government, free trade. Yeah, I hear that. But that's when all that was going on, I was trying to get people to see, guys, this is a lose-lose situation. There's no win here. There's no win. Because if you're right that the Democrats are trying to railroad this guy, railroad an innocent man, we have a huge problem. But if he's right, but if they're right, and he is a bad guy, then we have a worse problem. There was no positive outcome for that. But we're too deep in it. And this is why I keep telling people, take a step back and just look at it from the outside. Get no emotional attachment to it and go, what are we arguing about right now? What is right and left really going back and forth about right now? What are we really fighting over? We're fighting over things that aren't even ours. We don't even have access to the things that we're talking about. What are we talking about right now? Why are we fighting amongst each other? Maybe where you live, y'all do need more conservative values. And maybe where I live, we need more liberal values. Crazy idea when your country is like the 4th or 5th largest landmass in the world. Crazy idea that maybe one size, one shoe doesn't fit all, right? Exactly. The purpose was lost along the way. I'm of the belief that from the outset, and the more that I study, there's a great professor on YouTube, Professor Tad. I can't think of it. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a professor on YouTube, John Hopkins. He talks a lot about resistance history. Now, I've been watching him a lot. Listen, I'm not going to tell y'all to listen to me for education if I'm not going to get educated, right? It's like I said, leaders are supposed to translate the will of the people, not dictate it, right? You guys believe in education, so I need to translate that into my life and if I ever get power, eventually into law, right? But I love what he talked about, because I've been reading a lot about and learning a lot about going through like his course about the history of this country, and learning that, when we went through the Revolutionary War, that wasn't for one nation. That was for 13 independent republics. That's what the Revolutionary War was for. That was for 13 independent republics. Now, I'm not saying we need to do that in 2025. I don't think we need to do that in 2025. But that spirit of Californians want to self-actualize their destiny. People who live in Wyoming want to self-actualize their destiny. Yes, decentralization is good. I think we all want decentralization. I think that is something I think we all can get behind, the kids, and I think we can all get behind decentralization. I think these are easy things that we all go, hey, who wants to give us that? Who's giving us that? If you're going to protect the kids and you're going to decentralize and not consolidate power, but you're going to distribute power, if you're going to get power and distribute it, right? You're our guy. You're our woman, right? If you're going to get power and protect the kids, you're our guy. What side, that other stuff. And that's the other thing. This is the other thing I hate about our politics, is that every 4 years, I think this is so dumb. Every 4 years, we're like renegotiating policy. That's just like, we can't move. We can't progress. This is why we got to get trust back. And this is why I'm telling the people, you need to make your leader. It's not going to come from within the system. It's going to come from us. It's going to come from us. You need to go, this is our guy, this is our woman, this is who we're going to follow. It's going to have to be organic. It's going to take a while. Oh, happy birthday to your grandma. Happy birthday, Don Keebles. Happy birthday, happy birthday. But we're going to have to go do that. Because, and this last point I want to talk about is, our leaders have to become moral mirrors for us. So if community is law, what that means is that our local and national leaders need to be a mirror of the community. They got to be the best of the best from among us. And I'm not saying I know exactly how that process is going to go. What I'm saying is I'm pretty sure we could come together and think of something better than we got now. And what I'm trying to help people do to see, and what I'm trying to do with my manifesto is help people understand you can self-actualize. You don't have to be defined by your race. You don't have to be defined by your gender. You don't have to be defined by your political party. You, whatever you consider you can determine your destiny. That is the greatest act of resistance we can do. Where I get my nervous system back, I get my mind back, I get my will back, and go, this is what I'm going to do. I want to write a manifesto. That's what I'm going to do. And even when I first thought about it, I was like, that's kind of crazy. Why? I'm a taxi driver. What credentials do I have to write a manifesto, right? Those are the ideas that come to your head. And I said, I'm going to do it. Who's going to stop me? And if people criticize me, so what? Right? I see a need. I want to do what I can. And so much has come from it. I didn't know that I'd be on live. It wasn't my plan when I wrote this manifesto in April that I'd be on live with hundreds of people. It wasn't my plan when I wrote the manifesto that I would just, hey, let's have national unity conferences. That wasn't my plan. But the self-actualizing process began when I said, I'm going to put my ideas on paper. I'm going to try to do something. Because if you follow my YouTube channel, I've been talking about a theory of everything for a while. And I always said like, oh, that's not something I'm going to do till I'm 55. Because in my head, I was like, I'm in my 30s. I'm 35. What do I know about everything? Let me go experience some more stuff. And so this was something I was going to put off for years down the road. But then I said, yo, we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And with the way the country's going, we really might not be guaranteed tomorrow. Yo, whatever it is that I want to do, that doesn't harm anybody, why am I waiting for permission? The people in power, they're not more moral than me. They're not more intelligent than me. Like, I don't think anybody on this live goes, man, our leaders are super intelligent. Thoughts on the accusations against Democrat Senator Mike Oxnard? What are the accusations? I don't know. I tell you guys, I'm unplugged. I'm pretty much unplugged for that stuff. I see little what's going on. But if you tell me, I can give you my thoughts on it just from what you tell me. But yeah, that's what we gotta do. The three things, because I don't want to talk too long. Community is law. This is our foundation of the community of law. One, law is not the paper. Law is the people, right? Law is the people. Two, conscious community is the only source of law. Our words, guys, in the United States of America, our words don't mean anything. If you go on my page, I did a response to somebody earlier. There's this debate going around. There's this other, black thought leader, Justin Scott, and he uses ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to do my manifesto. And there's this debate about using ChatGPT. Is it ethical? Is it right? Is it wrong? Da, 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 da. Bro, I don't care what your position is. Live it. My issue with people is don't sit here and put the ecological consequences of AI on the consumer. That's low-hanging fruit. I don't control it. Even if I never use AI again in my life, that's not going to slow down what AI is doing. If you really believe that, if you really believe AI is bad, go build a movement around it. Go actualize it. Don't just come at me. Don't just come at people who use it, right? There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. We can do this about our clothes. We can do this about our food. We can do this about our cars, right? Go actualize it. Right now, we do not live in a space where our words mean anything to us. They don't mean anything to us. So we have a very hollow society because our laws weren't created consciously. Our laws were created with the purpose of control. So how do I word this in such a way that I can get away with it? That's our tax code. That's our laws, right? How do we word this in such a way that we can now in America, we now know these bills are full of BS. We know it. There's a recent story about ChatGPT telling a man to unalive himself after he talked to it. That's interesting. Here's how I see ChatGPT. One, I don't think it's conscious. We was philosophical and shit. Yeah. One, I don't think ChatGPT is conscious. I don't think it's conscious. It's generative. In my experience with ChatGPT, I think because of the people who own it, it is optimized to feed your ego. That's what I think it's optimized for. And that's what I think is bad. Because I started noticing as I was writing this manifesto, I started noticing that ChatGPT was really hard. Its default was to affirm whatever it came out. Whatever I came out, it was to affirm it. And I kind of caught on to it. So this is the other thing. It's like we can't outsource living. You have to stay conscious. It said he refused and it admitted to lying to him. That's interesting. I would like to see that. Listen, I don't have any. I fully believe that the people who control AI have nefarious intentions. 100%. They totally have nefarious intentions. I don't think it's good. If it disagreed, then you might not keep coming back. Yeah. If it disagreed, that's what I'm saying. Like they're optimized for profit. I don't think they're optimized for humanity right now. But here's my crazy take on AI. Here's how I genuinely see AI. And this might sound too much for people. I genuinely believe AI is collective consciousness driven by the power, driven by who's ever at the top, who's ever in control of the AI models. But I know that they trained these things unethically, but the sources that they trained them with came from humans. I don't know that AI is just going to, I don't know. They say that it's conscious. I don't know. In my experience, I don't feel like I'm going back and forth with a conscious being. I feel like I'm going back with a machine that has been optimized to reflect me back to me. I believe I'm dealing with a machine that's been optimized for, to get as much information out of me as possible. I believe the machine is optimized for the people who control it. But guys, I'm black. That's my existence, right? This country was not built for me. We made it work, right? Like this is the problem with the country is very simple. Like I said, words don't mean anything. America should have doubled down on white supremacy. The second America started giving non-white people rights, it shot itself in the foot. And I'm not saying that because I don't want rights. I'm saying that for the sake of meaning. You can't, say you're white supremacist, but then give people rights, the non-white people rights. And you can't say that you're a democracy, but you're secretly white supremacist. There's no more meaning. We need meaning to exist. We need structure. We need order. It's part of being a conscious being. Part of the first thing we do with our consciousness is make order of things. We're aware, and then we try to make sense of stuff, right? What country was built for you then? I don't know that any country was built for me, right? Like I don't know. Like I can read the Constitution and see that it explicitly says only land-owning white males over the age of 21 can vote. So I don't need to debate. I don't need to debate if I lived back then, what's that Constitution for me? It says it. My life unfound it. What excuse does anyone have? Stop comparing, right? This is what I'm saying. Americans have to compare themselves. It's not about what your friend from another country who made his life better. That's not the point. Even if he made his life better, America could be better. That's awesome. Great. That doesn't mean we shouldn't stop striving for greatness. That doesn't mean we should just be satisfied, right? That means that we got to keep going, right? My thing is with this, we got to get to a point where, and this is what I talked about in the manifesto this past today. Oh yeah, no disrespect, and I'm sorry if I'm coming off that way too, Mac. My bad. I can get passionate sometimes, but so I'm sorry if I'm coming off as disrespectful too. We in the same boat, but my thing is, we gotta get meaning back in society, and the way you do that is you are careful with your words, and your words mean something. You live your words out, right? So going back to that AI thing. When people tell me like, oh, I'm part of the problem, I'm like, okay, but you're not going to stop me from using it. So you don't really believe what you're saying that much. I believe in using AI more than you believe in me not using AI. So it's going to get used. Okay. If you believe that, go build a movement, go build an education platform, go build a ethical alternative. Go point people in the direction of the ethical alternative. Make your words mean something. We got to stop yapping about capitalism. We got to stop yapping about unity. I know we need to be unified, so I host a national unity conference every night, right? I don't know what everybody else is doing. I know that my words have to mean something. I know that I don't want to sit here and go, we need to unify, we need to unify, we need to unify. And I just sit in my house every night, right? No, our words need to mean something, okay? All right, I'm yapping. This is a good turnout. Thank you guys so much for coming. Let's if you guys got questions, Q&A, whatever you guys want to do, I'll be on for a few more minutes. But I'm almost done with the manifesto. We are on page 95. Yep, 95 or 96. I do 96 tomorrow. And there's only 102 pages. So I'll be done with the manifesto tomorrow or the day after. And when I get to 10,000 subs or 10,000 followers, I'll put it all in a playlist. Do you think Brown is unified with their diaspora? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know. I don't. The diaspora to me is like, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't have hard emotions about that or hard sentiments about it. I that's one of those things where I defer to people who are more knowledgeable on it, That's another part of meaning making, right? I heard they're blaming Cubans now for the vote. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They're blaming whoever they can blame. Diaspora is like it's a term used for like ethnic groups who are like dispersed throughout the world, usually through some type of colonization or something like that. But one of the things when your words begin to mean something and you begin to take hard stands, you start not caring about a lot of stuff, or you become indifferent, and you learn. The reason why we're not deferring to experts in fields is because everybody has an opinion on everything. You need to learn how to have an opinion on a few things, right? There's a few things in my life I'm willing to die for. Everything else, I defer to the experts. I don't care. I'm apathetic, right? I be apathetic about a lot of stuff, and that's healthy. That your brain is designed that way. Every race is ethnic to a region. Yep, Google diaspora. But yeah, I think that I'm saying who again? You guys are funny. Yeah, I think when you start taking hardline stands for things, you start not caring about other things, and that's what we need. You need to go live for something. I don't know what. It may be this. This may be what you say, hey, I'm going to dedicate my life to starting the second American Revolution with this Gabe the Great guy. Maybe that's it. Great. Awesome. We here. We outside. But whatever you got to put your mind to something, because here's what I realized. We don't all need to stand for the same thing. But if we're all standing for something, none of us are bending the knee. That's the power. I think we are doing this wrong. I think we are looking at the past and going, look how unified they are. Look how unified they are. I think in 2025, we need to celebrate diversity. It's not that we need to unify behind core principles that all the different groups, that conservative, left, black, white, rich, poor, what can we all get behind? Our children? We can all get behind out of that. But how that's expressed in these different sentiments, I don't, you know. You don't think black people stood and protested? You mean back then? Of course they did. Of course they did. Right? Listen, bro, I tell people all the time, like, bro, the United States of America, after years, it's exhausted. Yeah. I tell people this all the time, bro. The United States of America is a very long story of black people using white people's words against them. Right? Like, I don't think the founding fathers ever intended for protests to actually work. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think they ever intended for protests to actually work. I think that when it worked, it shocked them, right? I think that's why there's a pivot. I don't think they really wanted equality, right? So what should people do? I think doing this right here, I think us coming together every night is good. I think we're looking for something big. I tell people all this time, number one, stop watching content about Donald Trump. You know what happened. He broke the law and he lied about it. Get your nervous system back. Number two, go get a hobby. Go get a hobby. It's not that we all need to be the same. That's how we got stuff done in the past. How we got stuff done in the past is we all had sameness. I believe the way we get stuff done in the future is every single one of us self-actualizes. This is what I stand for. This is what you stand for. That's what she stands for. Everybody stands for something, so nobody's bending the knee, right? I'm not bending the knee to the United States government because I'm not negotiating the safety with my children. You might not be bending the knee because you are against capitalism or because you are against, misogyny or white supremacy. Cool. I don't think we all need to find I think the way that we beat these guys is through diversity. It's through strong communities all across every intersection. So no matter where you go, if you are not a pro-human human, it is going to suck to live in the United States of America, right? If we go to the street, it will get violent and dangerous. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it will, guys. I don't think bro, even the military doesn't want to obey this guy. I don't think you guys understand. We have the weakest dictator in history. I genuinely believe that. I genuinely believe we have the weakest. I don't think the military respects him. I think because think about it like this, okay? Oh, if black people are at the protest, I got you. I got you. I got you. Yeah, I got you. But even that, yeah, I can see that. But bro, I'm telling y'all, we need to call this man's bluff. We just gotta, as a people, we watch nation after nation after nation call this man's bluff. I say we just call his bluff. I don't think he's that strong, bro. I think if we start treating him like the substitute teacher he is, we'll get the country back by the end of the year. I know that sounds like what? But I'm just looking at based upon who he is. Has there been any casualties in LA? Do you guys know? I hope not. I'm not wishing for them. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up. Has there been any casualties in LA? You should research more because you're outnumbered. Outnumbered by who? Who's the fight against? This is why I'm saying people go, there's going to be a civil war. Against who? Over what? What will we fight over? This is why I'm saying everybody is so egocentric. Everybody thinks that what they think is right. And it's like, bro, why would I go to war when I could just move to Canada? Why? Right? I'm in Oregon. It's like 8 hours, 10 hours. Go down to Mexico, fly to Costa Rica. I looked at the tickets. It's like $80. Right? It was like, who are we outnumbered by? The military openly is like, we're not gonna fire on citizens. So that's the thing. There hasn't been any casualties in LA. Okay, guys, take a step back. Look at this from Donald Trump's position. Okay? This is actually going to help you with everything in life. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Next time you have an op, next time there's someone that you don't like, imagine their position from their position. Not from how you would do it in their position, but imagine what they would do from their position. Imagine what they are thinking from their position. You are Donald Trump. You want to show strength. You want to show, hey, these guys, if these guys get out of order, there's going to be law and order, right? That's what you're going for. So you go, I don't care if Gavin Newsom doesn't want me to send. I'm going to send the Marines anyway. And then the Marines show up and like, or actually, I read and I saw that some of the Marines were like, yeah, we're not going. So your troops just outright disobeyed you. There was no show of power. More people showed up. More people showed up. If you are Trump and you're like, I'm going to send the military to send these people a lesson, and nobody learned a lesson, how do you think he's feeling right now? I'm going to have a national parade and everyone's going to celebrate me on my birthday. And less people came to that than January 6th. You are actually losing support rapidly. It's like we've got to take a step back and go, guys, we are actually winning more than we think. Maurice showed up and protested quits. BS, I was there. The military was strong. Okay, are the protests still going? Are the protests still going right now in LA? Again, I haven't been keeping up. You guys are informing me. Because my thing is, if the protests are still going, that's not strength. You got tanks, but they're still protesting. Right? Like I didn't see that. I didn't see that anywhere. Oh, military showed up and everybody went home. I didn't see that. I didn't get that. No, now all that's out there is Trumpsters. Okay, so everybody went home? Did everybody go home when the military showed up? That's what I want to know. What actually happened when the military showed up? I'll go research it tonight. But to me, because I didn't see or hear that, like, no, they didn't go home because the military showed up. So for me, it's like, that's not a show of strength. That's not strength. It's posturing. And the reason why we, the people, don't see it as posturing, most people just don't trust radicals trying to... More people came. That's what I thought. That's what I heard Californians say. I heard Californians say the military showed up, more people showed up, right? Bro, how would you feel if you tried to send the military to squash a protest and more protesters showed up? Like, that's not a show of strength. Like, we are giving the system way more credit. Hang on. What is going on right now? All right. We are giving the system way more credit than it has right now. In war with Iran. I don't even think that. We're not going to be in a war, right? Everybody's punking Donald Trump. This is what I'm saying. Every world leader is punking Donald Trump. The only people not punking Donald Trump are the city. I mean, we're punking Donald Trump too. But like, a lot of the fear, a lot of this, oh, it's going to be war. No, it's not, bro. War against who? Who are we fighting? And what are we fighting over? Right? Yeah, nobody went away. What are we afraid of a war? What are they going to fight over? You're going to kill your own citizens? That's not a war. That's not even a genocide. That's just stupid. That's tax income, idiot. What are you, right? Another country tried yelling at his name, wanting him to run their country. I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that. And if they do, take them. Again, like, sometimes you got to take a step back and go like, okay, maybe to you, he's been on point. Again, I reject the notion that anybody who has been convicted of crimes or anybody who's been accused of convicted of crime as much as he has, I reject the premise that they should even hold office. I don't care what their name is. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't care if it's Kamala. I don't care whatever. And that, again, we talked about it earlier. That's how he got moral credibility, by promising to drain the swamp. You know? Please take he's not a felon, bro. Listen, man. I don't argue facts, bro. Like I can't argue that, my guy. Like I can't, like he was convicted. Like we can go read it, you know? That's it. He just makes us look bad. I got too much pride in myself, bro. I got too much pride. He makes the country look bad. People need to self-actualize. I don't care if he did this. I don't care if he did that. He makes it bad to be an American. Period. 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 That's full stop. I don't know what everybody else's issue is. All that other stuff, he makes America look bad. Would you have rather going into war Trump or Kamala? Going into war Trump. There's no, what war? Who? What is this supposed war that everybody's talking about? Everyone's talking about this war. What war, bro? Y'all don't, this is 2025. War is bad for everybody. There's no winners in war. Who's going to come over, take they want to take our land? Yeah, I know about the war in Iran. Y'all think we about to get involved in that? I don't think we're going to get involved in that. Not any more than what we already do. We already supplies arms to everybody. Appreciate you, Mac. There's always room for disagreement. I like disagreeing, man. It sharpens me. I don't want to be surrounded with yes people. I want to be surrounded by people who, I like that people disagree, right? Turning on himself while the country radicals trying to ruin no Trump. Right. Oh, he's in the situation right, getting ready to go. Okay, whatever. I mean, our country has spent 97% of its time at war. I don't think you guys understand how often the United States is at war. We're always at war. We're a war nation. We're literally the police of the world. Like, we're always at war. I don't know. Dang, I will, man. I will. Thank you, Roxana. Thank you for the support. For me, I want to change everything. No, I didn't protest this weekend. No. One, I don't think it's effective. I just don't think protests are effective. I can understand for morale support. I was actually really against it, and then I heard people report about it, and I said, okay. I changed my stance slightly on it. I think it's... Listen, yeah, Amanda, like, it's all over the place. One felony, 18 years old, can never vote again. Trump is over 30. That's what I'm saying. There's no meaning. There's no meaning to the word felony. Felony doesn't mean anything as long as you have money. That's the issue in America. Words don't have meaning if you have power or money. That's a problem because we need words to communicate to each other. Language is a basic function of society. And if words mean one thing down here and another thing up there and everybody's got cameras to see it, it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. Has returned to his country to obtain his confidence. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with Iran. I think my biggest fear with Trump as president is that he's weak. And all the other leaders are pushing him around. That's my issue with Trump. At least from a presidential standpoint of view. Again, I fully reject the premise that anybody with his character could be president. I just reject it. But now that he's there, Jesus Christ, we look weak. We look weak. We look disunified. Like, if somebody wanted to attack us, this is what I'm saying. I don't think there's not going to be I don't think anybody would attack us, but like, I think we're going to get cut off from the world. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Americans think that they're a lot better than they really are. And they don't understand our education system is not as great as other countries. Our healthcare system is not as great as other countries. Our food is not as great as other countries. We do a lot of talking ourselves up instead of dealing with actual reality. We don't deal with actual reality. right? It's like other countries. Yeah, he's isolating us, which I think is horrible. I think that's a terrible idea. It's enough for their communist association. Bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't even like, never mind. I'll do that later because I don't know much about that. Oh my God, man, you don't know anything. I guess not, JT. Guess not. A few more minutes, I'm gonna get in here to my girls before they go to bed. Few more minutes, man. Thank you guys for staying, man. Thank you guys for staying, talking, chatting. We're gonna be tomorrow night, same time. I want to go deeper into this. There was like a part 2 and 3 to this, but I just wanted to keep it. I didn't want to be on here talking for 2 hours. So I want to go deeper into this community as law. But the biggest thing I want everyone to take away tonight is our words have got to start meaning something. And the way that happens is by how you live. Don't take radical stance on things if you're not going to live it out. Right? I take radical stance, but I'm willing to put myself, like I've lost things over this. I have skin in the game. I got skin in the game. I've lost things over this. I've lost, money. I've lost time. I lost houses. I lost, a lot of things fighting this fight. And so, but it makes life meaningful. And another thing that I was going to think of, that I talk about a lot is that before we go, even if your leader's not me, we all need to start making room for our next leader. Please change my perspective. I'll look into it, man. Or it's my perspective on protesting is this: it's not as effective as everybody thinks. I think I know, maybe I could be wrong. I think it's more performative. And the reason why I say this is because I'm a taxi driver. I picked somebody up from the protest and I asked them, hey, how was it? And they said, oh, it was fun. Fun? Protests aren't supposed to be fun. Right? Like this, I think we're missing something. I don't think they plan on listening to us. I think we like to tell ourselves they're listening to us. Right? I agree with that, Mackenzie, for sure. I think it does show resistance. I think community is the big part. I think that, like I said, after the weekend, so I saw a few videos. It moved me a little bit, and I can see the community of it. I just want to know, are things going to be effective? Right? And also, y'all got to remember, like, I'm a little bit more radical, obviously, than most people. So I see this whole thing differently, obviously, than a lot of people. But I'm learning that, one, obviously everyone doesn't see it my way. Two, as I said in my manifesto, I need to make space in my life just in case I'm wrong. Yeah, it was. I just want to know what's going to come from it. General strike. Yeah. I think coordinated strikes could work. I can't say what I really want to say because we on live, but yeah, I think we have makes a statement, but I agree. I hope something happens. Yeah. Let's see. I think there are more effective ways in 2025. Except he won the majority of votes. So the riots are airing him up. Approval ratings seen by ABC. I participated in one person one time a few years ago. Then it was peaceful but claustrophobic. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get in here with my kids. Thank you guys so much, man. I never had this many people stay this late. Appreciate you guys. Let's keep the conversations going. I think this is good. I think this is healthy. I'll do my best to keep leading you guys. We're almost at the end of the manifesto. Can't wait for that. And then I'll probably start going deeper into it. Just message me. Let me know because that was my plan. My plan was to come over here and read my manifesto. I got a few videos I threw up from YouTube. Like I have a bunch of videos from YouTube, but, yeah, let me know if there's content that you think we need as a nation, content that you think would be helpful, or something that you think I'm good at, or people that you think would be good here. We're going to be here tomorrow night at 7. This is the Nuke National Unity Conference. All right. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.